Hey, this is Jane. This is episode 7 of the Cucks of the Week, and there really is no organization that could not deserve this more than the ACLU. Now, the ACLU gets a bad rap, especially from the alt-right. A lot of people think that it's a Jewish front, that they're pushing cultural Marxism. But they're like, what is that old saying, that if the clock is right twice a year or twice a day, the ACLU is right about twice a day. They helped with the Unite for the Right march that was in Charlottesville. Now, there are some conspiracy theorists on the alt-right that believes that it was all of a setup and they were part of it, and that caused with the car thing and all that. That's maybe for another video. But we need to understand that the ACLU is run pretty much dominated by Jewish people. About 50% of its senior leadership is Jewish people. Again, a group that has 2% of the population is dominating very important civil rights organizations. So a couple days ago, and I think many people have seen this, especially those in the alt-right, or anybody that's conservative in nature has probably seen this and just must have just puked in their mouth with the response from this country on Twitter, especially. They said something on Twitter. A beautiful young boy, a young white boy with blonde hair, blue eyes, carrying a flag. I have a picture of it right here. I think most people have seen it. And where is it at? There it is. And then I'll read it to you. But this is a beautiful young boy. It should be a symbol of our young youth. Personally, I would have a problem if there was an African American kid with him or a Hispanic kid with him. Okay, I would have an issue with it. But this is what they did, and let me go ahead and read what it said. This is from the ACLU. This is their official Twitter account. This is the future that ACLU members want. Why wouldn't you? Here's a kid that has that apparently is so proud, not proud, but having a good time, is happy that his free speech is being retained. He's carrying that flag. It's very patriotic. It should be celebrated, but that's not what happened. Because this country, especially on Twitter and on social media, and a lot of it is from white people, hate white people right now. And whatever their arguments for that is, for what we did with slavery or with conquering this country and basically getting rid of the Indians, obviously there's reasons why they're this way. They've been taught this way through cultural Marxism. And I can tell you I had it for a long time, that white guilt that you have. But this is just one of the responses to it, and now I lost it. Let me see here. I don't know if you can see that. I think a lot of people saw this. This was a African American woman or black woman, and her response is a white kid with a flag, question mark, exclamation mark. What the fuck is that? And this is a woman that looks like she wants to be white, just looking at her. And then look like there's a couple, I don't know if this guy was laughing at her, but that's a white guy there. So, and then now they got destroyed online about this. Again, these are people that are on Twitter all day because they don't have a fucking job, that the state is paying for them to stay home, especially single mothers in the black community, and of course the white community and the Hispanic community, and they have their cell phones and they sit there, oh my god, I can't believe this came out. And they probably don't actually follow the ACLU because they don't understand what that means. But I'm sure somebody shared it with them and they're like, oh, I can't believe this, and they had to do this. And that whatever that minority jealousy that you have for the majority, it comes out. And the fact that you've been told your entire life that it's white man's burden for why you are. But this is what the ACLU put out. You see the end of there? That's Kermit saying, oh, you have a good point. And this is their response. When your Twitter followers keep you in check and remind you that white supremacy is everywhere. So, first of all, I would like to know who the parents of that boy is, because if I was the parents of that boy, I would sue the ACLU, because they're saying that their son is an example of white supremacy. And because he's, what, a beautiful young, blonde, blue-eyed, with carrying a flag around, and it looks like he's joyful. And this brings me back to how many times I've talked before I really went down the rabbit hole and started talking about the alt-right, about how we've shamed boys in this country so much that they kill themselves more. And it continues to more, just on all races, but especially white men. And here we are doing it. This ACLU is basically shaming a kid because he's white and he has blonde hair and blue eyes, and he's been labeled as a white supremacist. And this is not Nazi Germany, for fuck's sake. The greatest thing, I mean, what is wrong with what the first tweet was? And why would people have to be so angry in response to Twitter, to the ACLU? And why is the ACLU such a fucking bitch for responding to it and then taking it down, and then equating a young white boy as a sign of white supremacy, because it's fucking everywhere, they say. You know, so I said it to you in the last couple of my videos. The idea, no matter what the media says right now, like CNN and MSNBC, that actually believes that in 2020 that there's going to be a huge switch back to the liberal, or whatever you want to call it. It's not going to happen. More and more people are going to see stuff like that. They're going to say, what the fuck is that? They're going to find out as they go down that rabbit hole. They're like, what the ACLU is run by this? And who's talking about that? And they're going on YouTube, and they're going to find some people to talk about it. Guys like Millennial Woes, because he says it so articulately. And they're going to be like, this is fucked up. I'm going to defend Western civilization, and I'm going to defend my people. This has got to stop, people. I've said the last couple of my videos, and a lot of people that did this were black people. Now, again, it's not all black people. It's like not all the people are killing each other on the street either that are black, okay? But until somebody calls them out, or we as come up, and I don't know if they ever will, but I've talked about it yesterday that we have to be together, because there's going to be a time that we've got to stand side by side. And if we don't do this, our country's going to be gone, and the United States is going to be an Islamic state. It's going to be that way. And we're not going to have any freedoms back then. And you won't be able to basically go on Twitter and say, oh, that sucks. Why don't you have a black person on there? You're not going to have those rights. The ACLU should be just destroyed by everybody. There should be a petition basically saying that they're the stupidest thing of all time. The president should come out and say the same thing. This has got to stop, people. And I've talked to a lot of people that I've nominated for the Cucks of the Week. Right now, it's not even close. This organization with this Twitter thing is at the top, and it's going to win the yearly one, of course, on my channel. And I just hope that people continually just badgers them for what they did. And again, if I was the parents of that young boy, I would sue the ACLU. And it's awful what they did. And to equate a beautiful young boy with blonde hair and blue eyes as a sign of white supremacy in this fucking country who stopped it 60 years ago or 70 years ago. Okay, that's all I have today. Later on today, I should have a review or a preview for the fight between Mayweather and McGregor. Please look at that. Tell me what you thought about that. If you have any comments below, if you think that I'm off base here, that's fine. Then we can have that discussion. I said before, I wouldn't have any problem if there had been a young black girl there or Hispanic boy there with the blonde white kid. I wouldn't have any issue with that. I wouldn't have gone on Twitter and said, I can't believe this. So anyway, thank you. Like this, share it, and we need to get our message out there. And thank you. And again, there should be another video today. Thank you for supporting, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.